Ladies and gentlemen, in the top right is your red Protoss from Team Liquid in this ace match. His name, Liquid CLEM.
He's facing off against rather a frightful opponent. The Slayer of the Foreigners. He's the Blue Zerg from Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Dark.
Alright, this is... I mean, hey, this could be a final in any event, but we get one game of it. We get teased with a game, and then that's going to decide which of these teams does end up winning. Again, it's 3-3. This has been, I think, one of the closest matches that so far in the World Team League. I think the only one that was also close was KaiZ versus Shopify. Also went to a game 7, in which Beyond ended up dropping to Innovation. So that's very, very interesting to see. This is the first time we've gotten this game 7 situation, which is great. It's going to be absolutely a pleasure to watch. But also remember, Team Liquid down 0-1. Even if they lose this, they it's game 7. You still have another 9 weeks of matches after this, so yeah, they're absolutely not out of contention to make it into the playoffs.
The downside is that you get less points now, right, for the victory, I believe. Then if you would get the victory straight off, you get a point extra. If you have to use the ace match to win the match, then you get 1 point less, I believe. Like you get 2 points instead of the 3. Yeah. Something like that. Let me look it up.
But I believe so. I believe it's based on just games won give you a point, games lost lose you a point. So either way for these teams, you know, even one going 2-0, one going 0-2, like they're not going to be terrible because again, Team Liquid will only lose 1 point, PG will only gain 1 point. So you know, it's not going to like put them out or ahead in any in any kind of regard. You know, unlike GGG, who surprisingly is 11-1 plus 10, and you're like, what? Okay, you know, like okay, Patience, Cyan, and Dream, you guys can calm down. Of course, they have played, they played GP and Invictus, so they've had probably an easier.
They still got to go through the rough parts of this stage. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see those real titans colliding against one another.
They're not like Invictus, who their first 4 weeks is against like all of the top 4 teams.
Yeah,
so.
It's a bit rough. But yeah, still so much great StarCraft to come. Just with that in mind, right? I'm very much looking forward to seeing the rest of this tournament unfold.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast.
What do you think, by the way, about, like, for example, Team Liquid, right? They are sending out different players. Well, not entirely different rosters, but, they're mixing it up a little bit, sending Mana out in the first round, now sending out Kelazar. You think that's a cool thing of the Team League, or would you rather just have, like, the 3 same players for that team, representing that team again?
I think it's good. I think especially if you're looking at team leagues like this, I think it's good to, kind of test out as many of your team members as possible. For instance, for DPG, of course, they only swapped out 1 with Zest for Cure. Yeah. But you've seen teams like Team GP, I believe. They swapped out 2 players. Ryung's the only one who's played twice. They swapped out Puzzle, Vivid, Natural, and Prince. So they're trying out all of their members to see how comfortable they are. I think as well. KaiZ Gaming right now is using the same 3, but they're also, they're doing well. Of course, it's KaiZ, so that's you can't really expect too much. That's just they're really, really good, of course. But yeah, I think for teams that do have that option, who have the players available, I think it's very good to do. Just see how comfortable they are, see how well they perform in the team league, so that later on, when it gets to the matches that are more important, you can bring out your best roster.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's just nice to be able to switch up the rosters. You can kind of look at, like, all right, who are we facing this time around? Oh, they have a lot of Protoss. All right, well, let's send these guys out this time around, or something like that, right? Pretty cool.
I think, one of the reasons why, of course, why DPG probably brought out Dark instead of Zest is just because, well, all of those players, you don't want Zest to go up against a CLEM. That's kind of an up in the air one. You'd want players who could be a bit more confident going up against him.
Yep. That could be a scheduling thing as well, I suppose, but yep. Zest, I don't think he would do all that great against. Well, he might do. I mean, it's still a thing with CLEM, his TVZ being better than his TVP, I suppose. So.
And also, Zest did beat CLEM in IEM, but Yeah, I think this was, yeah, it was probably, I think, I like them bringing out Dark, see how he performs in this kind of a format. Obviously, Dark, probably very, very confident in how he's going to do, but we do see the double drop coming out here around 5 minutes from the 2-1-1 out of Clem. So have Dark just being very, very cautious as the Zerglings run right by the Hellions and don't get attacked, but will eventually get cleaned up here.
Yeah,
Dark just going for that early 4th base and going for Roaches as well.
Yeah, Roaches indeed. Most likely will be the Roach Hydra into Lurker play. Kind of saw Dark do this as the first player that at least I saw do it on the higher levels. And yeah, he's pretty darn good with it as well. Though he's losing a lot of these Roaches right now. These Marines, a real solution for them just like that. There we go, more Queens and Roaches spilling on through. That is finally enough. But it's still difficult for Roaches, right? They're very slow. Those drops can go whichever way they like.
Yeah, and you already see the Hydralisk Den getting finished up, so obviously Dark can be heading towards that as... Oh, Clem actually getting quite a bit of damage done with just this little early game pressure. Gets a few Roaches with the 2-1-1, gets the cancel on the 4th, and now gets 3 drones with a Reaper and 2 Hellions, and now gonna push back in, gonna get a lot more Overlords. Clem just making a lot of work with a little here, and Dark has been unable to take his 4th base.
Oh, wow, Clem again. Just in the micro seat right here. No worries. I know you're used to playing against people like Bjorn and stuff, but I still think I have my own tricks here.
Brings his own flair to it.
Yeah.
This creep spread has been completely denied. They won't be able to get those 3 tumors as the Roaches will push it back, but now you have a push coming out from Clem. The army is bigger for Dark, but mind you, it's Roach Ravager.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is a big push here, Clem. Just bringing all the aggression.
These siege tanks are going to be absolutely fantastic as well. Very difficult for these Roaches and Ravagers to push into this. I mean, yeah, those creep tumors are gone. How much more is Clem making behind this? I mean, he's making another base. Alright, goes in. Once those siege tanks involved, of course, in this fight. Dark rather doesn't, so... A little bit of an awkward battle where they both want each other to run into one another, but... Of course, Clem, more so the player that... can't really force Dark to move into him.
Yeah, as Dark is only getting now up his 4th base, it's, at a similar time to Clem even, so... This timing just right now really not working out, but he might be able to collapse here on the tanks, going for the wrap around. There's a lot of Roaches, there's a lot of Ravagers and Queens, there's a lot of bio here as well, but yeah, it should just be enough. Dark able to clean up that army, able to bile down the tanks, and ends the engage that he needed to really get himself into a more comfortable position than he was.
Yeah, that's a big cleanup there for Dark. Gets himself ahead in the army supply now, so that he's pretty darn comfortable with that. Needs to get that 4th base up and rolling though, of course. A couple more drones would be nice, but he's working on those things, and he's definitely heading into the right direction.
As Dark just posturing across the map has, a decent army supply, but again, you have to consider the fact that it is in... it's a lot of army supply that's in Roach Ravager. It's not going to trade efficiently against Bio over time, and this engagement might not be the best here. It does get a few picks before backing off, but he's now starting to transition into the rest of his comp. He's getting up his Hive, getting up Hydralisk, going into Lurkers and his +2/+2. Of course, you still have to consider the fact, hey, Clem's on an even worker count. Clem has been using all of this pressure and that delay on the 4th for so long to just get up his own 4th base and now be in a really, really good spot to go into this mid-game, even with the Zerg.
Yeah, for sure. Even getting a cancel right there on the base, not too bad. Keeps the Marines alive as well. And it's still difficult for Dark to deal with Medivacs, right? He's going to have the Vipers. That makes it a lot easier with the Hydras, but it's not like he just has a bunch of flying units himself being able to chase it down.
As the... upgrades, seismic spines coming out for the Lurkers, gonna give them that extra range. Yeah, we're really just looking towards what the tech is here going to late game. We're looking for the Lurkers to get up. We're looking for Dark to probably start trading out Roaches to try and get damage across the map while Clem is pushing. Then for Clem, he already has his Ghost Academy up. He's going to be looking to get into that. Already has his tanks being built as well, so already putting himself into a good spot. He's going to be pushing across the map now onto that 5th base. Just going to, again, try and delay this Zerg as much as possible, as lurkers are here, but there should be a scan to deal with them, and this is plenty of Terran. So once again, Dark just not being able to take these bases, but he's building up a pretty big bank.
Yeah, a nice distraction with the drop on the right side, allowing these forces to get a little bit closer, but the abductions rather cruel there. Still a lot of siege tanks in the back, but I mean, the Vipers are still there. No Ghost of EMP or Snipe or anything, so this is just easy pickings for Dark here.
Okay, let's get off Corrosive Biles there, but cleans up the push on the other side as well. He's just dealing with this army very, very well, but again, behind this, he's not able to get up his own 5th base. Meanwhile, Clem putting down 3 additional command centers. He's just getting up this massive stockpile of orbitals so that he can mule whatever base he wants to take, so he can take his own 5th, so that he can just get into a very, very comfortable position, as he's also getting his own ghosts, as he's getting up all of this anti-Viper, anti-Lurker tech head into this late game scenario, and he's just been doing a good job of denying the Zerg the position that he wants to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, he has, but then again, I mean, Dark is holding on also, right? He hasn't taken catastrophic amounts of damage anywhere. He's getting himself more and more so into that very, very valuable army competition with all of those lurkers. He's getting more and more spore crawlers up here. Still very difficult for Clem to finish off his opponents, and a misstep could mean the end of him as well.
And mind you, this is where Dark is the best. This is where he excels, is when he's defending, when he's the one on the back foot. But Liquid Clem, oh my god! So many snipes come out, so many just roaches and ravagers dying, and these ghosts getting so much efficiency now, and there's not a lot of gas here for Dark to remax with, and this army, hey, lurkers defend against it, but still, Clem takes an amazing trade there.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think Dark moved his lurkers in close enough to really deal with the units of Clem there. I mean, there was still a lot of creep as well, so maybe a bit closer would have done the trick, but also showed how well Clem kind of is at pulling away his units away from those lurkers to not allow full AoE damage. Here we go again, another big fight. Lurkers get a lot closer this time around. And yeah, Clem definitely struggling a lot more to keep his siege tanks alive. I think to give up a bit more space.
Oh my god, these snipes.
Those snipes and the siege tanks together really working some magic here.
So many lurkers getting picked off. I mean, it's so much gas being invested by Dark. He's having to use up all that bank that he was trying to stockpile, and behind this you have a Terran who's on to, I believe, 6 command centers that are just kind of sitting around, and he's just using them for mules and for scans. He's already on 5 bases, but now, actually, Dark, he's just going to try and find a good position here to get some damage done. Lurker's coming in. Lurker's going to burrow.
Clem deciding whether or not he wants to go for the counterattack. Decides to move back here. That is quite a big force. I don't know about
this for Dark.
Okay, a lot of lurkers going down.
Oh my god. So many snipes. Dark just, I mean, this just takes so much damage trying to just, do anything. Clem, plenty of ghosts, plenty of units, and sure, he starts to trade a bit better here, but Clem has a bank, and he's going to use up all of his just trying to remax.
17 SCVs going down, but as you said, yeah, look at the amount of command centers as well that are available. And Dark's drone count isn't all that wonderful either. It's actually lower in the economy right now. Overall then, Clem's 60 supply ahead. Wants to heal up this bio ball and just get rid of some of these lurkers here. Okay, that's... Ugh.
A little bit ugly there.
Yeah. Not the cleanest engagements.
I mean, Clem, hey, he reset the lurker count. Dark is having to rebuild it again. You can see his gas bank just kind of plummeting while Clem is almost maxed out. Clem is approaching the point where he's fine with trading out these units because he knows that he has just been taking better engagements. And again, so many ghosts. He has like 13. There's so many snipes here, so much energy available. Not able to get off snipes just because the lurker range is kind of stopping him, but he has so many scans, he can keep pushing up these tanks. I mean, I don't know if Dark can even hold this base.
Look at how many medevacts there are and how they're all on low healing. Like that, you don't see that all that often, right? That is just Clem continuously making full use of those medevacts here.
Trying to hold this base, it's just not going to work out. Again, so many ghosts, so many snipes. He tried to hold on to this base, it didn't work out. He has lings across the map. Sure, they're going to get damage done, but you're not going to win the game off of this. You might get damage. You know, you might be able to trade decently, but that's about it. You get rid of one base. Well, there's 3 others from CLEM, and it feels like the Frenchman just traded well enough. I mean, again, the huge ghost count.
It really is a problem here for Dark. I mean, it's definitely a good start getting, you know, SCV damage, stopping a base from mining, but as you said, it's not going to win him the game necessarily. Needs to do more than just that. What a siege tanks all on their lonesome on that right side. That's making me a bit... I'm looking now and again back to that location. Alright, Marines are joining in right now.
Yeah, I mean, this push here from CLEM should just end it again. The snipes, just so much army supply here, and GG is called. Dark can't do it, CLEM. And close it out for Team Liquid. They're going to get themselves the first win. DPG themselves a loss as well in the World Team League, and wow, what a series that was.
What a series indeed. I think that may have been the best